So, I was thinking...
Seriously? Let it go. We've got to get prepped for Nocea.
I need you to take that portal stone to Selko, Jack. Step to it.
Can't talk right now. This Roshanian magic is made up of annoyingly self-replicating sub-spells that require me to murder them one at a time with the utmost concentration.
Orphe?
Candle.
So with your, special sight, do you know who wins the Everwar?
Depending on when we look. Sometimes. Malbiage is winning it now against the Kel. Oh, we're 12,000 years ago, when sigils were worn as crowns.
Not so much then.
Eternal things, like the Everwar, or the Aristea. Time runs out of room to record them. Room and desire. When things get too old, time loses interest.
Yeah, I don't... You know, that sounds weird, right? No offense.
Oh, it's very weird. Aggravating, too. We want to know if Roshan secures a decisive victory as much as you do. Time's just not paying attention to it.
I've been meaning to ask you about your mask.
It has nothing to do with Roshan's Order of Masks. They are little more than a broken cult, playing with trinkets and damnation.
Oh, whoa, I totally wasn't gonna make that connection.
The Akal settled along the western rain valleys long ago. This was before the Gaterond, the cataclysm that claimed them all, except for me.
Hold up, I think you might have skipped it.
Oh, we were talking about our tally mask? It shifts through all the faces of my people, each and every one. You're unable to see it. We were the only Yakala to survive. So we wear the rest of their faces in memory.
Then it's like the wall of names, your mask. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
It's only a mask, Candle. We could never get upset.
Good chat, Orphe. Hi, I'm Jack. Saw you wore the Immortals glyph. Figured I'd introduce myself.
You're the new recruit. I'm the Viscount Hauserel, Lord of Sevenridge and Eye of Lavenry. Sorry I missed your induction ceremony, Jack.
On a mission, your lordship?
Sure. And please, just Hauser. Fewer words benefit us all. Honestly, I didn't think anyone would pass selection this time around. No one has in years. So I dallied. Apologies again, I should have been here for you.
No worries. So, what was the mission?
I'm a hexbrand, Jack. Do you know what that is?
Oh, an assassin.
Yes. You can figure out the mission from there.
I didn't think the Immortals had assassins.
Understandable. It's not really tip of the spear now, is it? The Immortals are more than that, it's just Kirkin's favorite way of selling it.
Does she give you a target list? Writs? Devin said writs once.
Call them sanctions. Their approval is a nebulous mix of Lavenry, the Grand Magnus, Circumstance, and myself. Are you interested in taking one on?
Wait, we can do that? How?
The Order of Masks have a group of Magni called the Six that range far from Rasharn. Lucian needs them dead. If you want the sanction, it's yours. That's how we do it.
Being a Viscount, that means you have a claim to the throne, right?
I'm 15th in line and never getting closer. Realistically, you have as much claim as I do.
Uh-huh, sure. What's it like being part of a dynastic house?
It's bad for one's health.
Come on.
Oh, I'm serious. Why else would so many of us train as assassins? There's the ever-war between kingdoms, and then there's the little war known in every court in Aveum. They're the same except for scale. Magni obsessed with fighting other Magni for the rule of magic. I have to watch my back on two fronts.
Talk to you later, Hauser. Don't think I have a spell for that. Kirkin didn't say what that thing does.
Probably better you don't know, sir.
Is it though?
If you got captured.
Sure. It's just, if I knew the whole plan, it could be helpful, since I'm like, part of the plan. Am I right?
You have a point.
You aren't going to tell me, are you?
Nope.
Great. See you around, Captain.
Jack, Kirkin's asking for an update.
I delivered the portal stone to Captain Selko. What's next?
Rendezvous with the rest of us at Nocea. Our parley with Sandrak is imminent.
Parlay.
What?
Never heard anyone actually use that word.
It's the nerves.
Uh-huh. See you soon. See ya up ahead, game face Jack. Uh-oh. Can I call dibs?
Not the time, Jack.
So, what's the plan?
To know, this all feels a bit improvisational, if I'm being honest.
You bring no banner?
Didn't feel the need.
I held a small hope you might see reason. Yet you remain the same Kirkin that made me abandon the Immortals years ago. Obsessed with victory, stranger to compromise. Your eye ever bent towards the world's ruin.
And you just want to save it.
I can. With this. Its mastery over the fonts means I can end the war.
You mean win the war? By turning the rest of us defenseless?
In our every meeting, yipping pup.
Jack's right, though. You're not worthy of that power, Sandrak. Your airships bomb the free cities of the East and then wonder why they resist you now? The last order that surrendered to Rasharn, you burned their ambassadors alive. If my eye is ever bent towards the world's ruin, it's because I'm trying to stop the man causing so much of it.
Please, don't make me do this.
Captain Selko. You went mad. You didn't abandon us. You were exiled. And I'm still paying the price for not killing you.
Remember, this blood is on your hands.
It's the wound!
He's moving it!
We have to go! Now! Fall back!
Devin.
Jack, glad you're on your feet. That could have been so much worse. Took ages, but Zendara was finally able to dig you out of the rubble.
Oh, no, not her. I rather would have died. I'm never living that down.
Nope. Never.
How many did we lose?
Considering Sandrak just dropped a city into the wound, surprisingly few. But enough to have made his point. Kirkhan's left for Lavenry to talk with the king. He wants a full surrender after Nocea. There's even talk that Kirkhan's emergency powers may be rescinded.
So who's in charge?
Zendara. And I'll warn you, she's in a bit of a mood.
Kind of on brand for her.
I heard that!
Whoops.
Meet us in the war chamber, Jack. We've come to the conclusion that we're in desperate need of a plan.
Kirkhan may be gone, but our job's still the same. Eliminating Sandrak and his hold over the fonts.
There are 5, right? He can't have them all yet. We may not know what the Binding Stone does, or how Sandrak uses it, but we can try and keep him away from the rest if all of us just... What?
The fonts are hidden from us, Jack. Invisible. Buried in the liminal spaces where the borders between Aveum and the Shrouded Realm are weakest.
We only know the location of 2. The Palathon is actually built around one, and the other is in the Tower of Masks in Risharn.
Which means Sandrak's already used the Binding Stone to absorb its power.
We have to assume he has.
Technically, we now know the location of 3 fonts, but the one in the Pale Forest is, well, you saw what happened to it.
So that leaves the last 2, and only Sandrak knows where they are. Fine. Pin that, we concentrate on the Binding Stone instead. We know where that is. We just need to learn how to shut it off. And fast.
Not necessarily. According to my research, a Thradakol takes a huge toll on its possessor. Sandrak will have to rest before doing another stunt like that. We may have a little time.
Which leads us to former Grand Magnus, Thaddeus. Kirkhan's predecessor, now in exile. The oldest of us that still lives. By all accounts, he was an expert on Aristea. If there's a weakness to the very Aristean Binding Stone, he'll know about it. In theory.
Sticky wicket, the situation with Thaddeus.
That's not important.
Kinda feels like it is.
What Zendara means to say is it doesn't matter that Thaddeus hates the Immortals and everything we stand for, because you'll undoubtedly figure out a way to convince him to help us. And a bonus potential setback, because the universe is cruel. Like the remaining fonts, we also don't know where Thaddeus is.
His last known location was the Sky Islands of Oromon, digging through the archives at the Library of Akoth.
Okay, then what are we waiting for? I go to Oromon, make nice with a friendly librarian.
Actually getting to Oromon is difficult, Initiate. You're gonna need to learn how to ride a ley line.